It's a great day to talk about BGMC. I want to remind you this week our verses: seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His face continually. That's found in 1 Chronicles 16:11. I want to spotlight a true missionary story from our BGMC curriculum that they gave us, and it's about missionaries to the Philippines that happened several years ago to Herb and Karen Johnson. And it was a situation where they were desperate and they didn't know what to do, and they saw God, and God protected them. So check this out.
Missionary Karen Johnson hung up the phone and turned to her husband Herb with a worried look on her face. "That was my mother," she said. "There's been another coup here in the Philippines." A coup is when rebels try and take over the government by force. This is usually a very dangerous time for the local people, but it can be especially dangerous for missionaries. At Karen's little feet, a little poodle named Candy yapped and yipped. "Shush, Candy," she said. She wondered if the poodle could sense her fear. "Okay, everyone take showers," Karen said. When Karen's daughter Christy asked why, she said, "You never know when you'll get another chance. The electricity and water might be cut off." By the time their showers were done, they could hear a loud rumbling down the street. Karen peeked out the window and saw several tanks at the end of the street. "They're coming this way. Hurry, cover the windows." Karen and Christy quickly hung towels over the windows to keep the soldiers from seeing them. Karen glanced at Candy, the little poodle, wondered that she might start yapping again. Candy had always been good at warning when strangers were around, but this time it was different. If Candy started barking, the soldiers would know someone was there in the house. Throughout the morning, tanks rolled up and down the street. No one in Karen's family could eat. Their stomachs were in knots. At one point, Herb dared to peek out the window. Across the street, their friend, a Filipino doctor, signaled with his hand. Herb said, "He wants us to run to the house. I think we'd better go. They might start dropping bombs. As soon as the tanks reach the end of the street, we'll make a run for it. Ready?" Karen nodded. Christy scooped up Candy in her arms. "Go," Herb said. The three dashed across the street with only the clothes on their backs. Karen felt a little safer in the doctor's house. He even served them hot dogs for dinner. Karen was so hungry. Those hot dogs tasted like steaks. Boom! The first bomb exploded with such force. Christy was thrown across the room. Karen made sure Christy was all right. Even the poodle Candy came up to check. Remarkably, Candy had remained quiet all the time, hadn't barked once. Bombs continued to fall the entire week. Karen could hear the rat-a-tat-tat of gunfire all around. Karen's family stayed hidden in the basement of the doctor's home. Just as she was feeling like things would be all right, she heard a banging at the gate outside. The Filipino doctor came running down and ushered them back into the pump room at the far side of the basement. Then he went up to see who was at the gate. Karen and Herb and Christy, along with little Candy, stayed tucked in the pump room. Their hearts were racing. They could hear voices shouting, "Give up the Americans!" "We better pray," Herb said. They all prayed for protection. Soon the doctor returned. "They wanted to take your family as hostages," he said, "but I gave them my Pajero instead." Karen's mouth dropped open. The doctor had given away his sports utility vehicle, his car, to save their lives. Herb shook the doctor's hand. "Thank you, he said. Finally, it seemed safe for Karen and her family to return home. But as they crossed the street, bullets streaked by them. Some rebels were in their neighbor's house, robbing them and stealing their clothes. When they saw Karen's family, they shot at them. Karen and Herb and Christy made it across safely. They gave thanks to God for protection. The moment they reached their own yard, the little poodle began to bark and bark and bark. She could smell strangers all over the yard. Karen saw that rebels had taken their clothes off the clothesline. But it was Candy's barking that amazed her. You know, Candy never barked once the entire time they were in hiding. That was one miracle among the many that happened that week with the Johnson family. The following week, government officials came to their home to check on them. The officials asked Herb what he did, and Herb said he was a missionary pastor. The officials said that the rebels had wanted to destroy their home, but no matter what happened, their bombs would not hit their home. Prayer had made all the difference for these missionaries. Keep praying for the safety of our missionaries all over the world, for their lives are often in danger. And keep giving to BGMC to help provide missionaries with the things they need to reach the world for Jesus.
Wasn't that amazing? God is faithful. He takes care of us. Even the fact that that little dog didn't bark the whole time, all that chaos is going, and he protected them and watched over them and gave them a neighbor that would give their car up to protect them. God is amazing. But not only that, in our lives, we need to seek God for not just our daily needs, but we need to seek God on how we can make a difference in this world. Our National BGMC Director, David Boyd, is going to share some great ideas about ways that not only we can pray, but we can give to BGMC. So watch this.
I am David Boyd with the National BGMC office, and during this COVID time, we've been encouraging our kids to pray. Pray for the sick, pray for the nurses and doctors who are caring for the sick, even pray for our president during this time. We've also been encouraging them to witness, to write letters to their loved ones and friends and telling people about Jesus, trying to get them to think during this time of something they can do to make a difference around the world. And right now we want to talk about giving. We are challenging kids all over America to have a day of chores. That is a day when they set aside that they're going to do chores at home or chores in the yard or chores basically wherever they're allowed to go. And these chores are done free. And instead, they're going to go ahead of time on their parents' Facebook page and they're going to ask people to support them. They're going to challenge 50 people to send them $10 so that they can raise $500 for the BGMC Critical Needs Funds to help people all around the world who are hurting and help our missionaries, or to help Convoy of Hope with their 10 million meals drive to help feed poor people here in America during this time. So we want to know if your kids are going to take up this challenge.